Hey YouTube, thanks for clicking on this video. Today we are going to be taking a look at my top 3 stocks I'm actually looking at purchasing this month in October. These videos are not necessarily say that these stocks are going to skyrocket in October or there's big news around it. It's just these are 3 stocks that I'm particularly looking at this month to see kind of either to add to my portfolio, learn a little bit more about, and that I see that there's possible long-term upside potential in them compared to some other ones. Again, there's a ton of stocks I'm always looking at, always finding new stocks to actually buy. I just like to make these videos to also give you guys a chance to look at different stocks that are out there. Instead of, a lot of people look at a lot of the top ones, like one is like, so like a section of them would be called like FANG, that's like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and I don't know, Google, maybe, and Netflix, I think. So that's like a category, a lot of popular ones, and a lot of people when they start first investing, they either try to invest in some really cheap ones to potentially make a lot of money but know nothing about them, or they invest in the not only, but a lot of the top ones like FANG, the ones that I just listed in FANG, or something around there. So this right here gives an opportunity to you learn about more types of stocks, different sectors, as well as just to learn about a new stock in general that you might not have heard about. So without any further ado, what we're going to do is that we're going to jump to my phone. I'll put it up right here, and we're going to take a look at the actual stocks individually, and we'll go from there. Perfect. So now, like always, this is just going to show you my screen. I just want to show you actually the yearly update because it's been doing pretty good in the market. Of course, I've tried to make this video like 5 times already. And every day that I try to make it, the stock market was up, it was doing great, and then yesterday it went down. But overall in the years, I've actually I'm up 8.3%. I was close to about 9.4% a couple days ago. But overall, I've had a lot of growth in my portfolio the past couple of weeks, which is great. Definitely still plan on adding more stocks, but as of right now, I know my goal is to add about $5,000 this year. Right now, I think it was 5,000. Let's see. I've invested, 6,772, but 2,300 of that was technically transferred from my TD Ameritrade account. Sold that and then put it into my Robinhood portfolio, which I'm not going to count towards my 5,000 this year. So still have a little bit left to actually put into this portfolio, and most likely I'll exceed that 5,000. That was just a goal of mine to achieve by the end of this year. So without any further ado, we're starting looking at our first stock, and that right there is going to actually be Target. I'm sure every one of you have heard about Target, and their ticker symbol is TGT. Let me find it down here. Boom. I'm going to go through each of the ones. I'm not going to look at the week, I'm looking at starting at the month. So with a month growth, they've went up 5.31%. I've talked about Target, I'm pretty sure, in several videos prior. But again, this is finally one that I'm having a lot of, or putting a lot of attention to, kind of looking more into how they're making money, how they're doing compared to other retailers like Walmart, Amazon, so on and so forth. But yeah, so that's the 1 month. The 3 month, they went up 27.83%. That's ridiculous. That's awesome, especially if you own Target before. So that's great if you do. And then again, the year 34.73. That's amazing. And the 5 years is 86.31. A lot of the stocks I've looked at on this channel have shown almost 20% return every year. And just because a stock has shown this in the past does not necessarily mean it'll continue. Is a good indicator. However, we are in a bull market, so the stocks are traditionally going to go up, especially if they are more well known. Again, usually, not always, depending on news, so many other factors. But so this one is not necessarily a bad growth. It's actually, it's great. It's still over like the 10%. To me, anything about 10% and above is amazing. But again, it also has to deal a lot with the market that we're currently in. So 5 years, pretty good growth. The PE ratio is fantastic. It's 18.67. That's pretty much exactly where I would like for it to be. Again, that's just one indicator, a quick indicator what I like to look at. There's another stock that we're looking at that is ridiculous. It's like 120. We'll get that into a bit. They also pay dividends, and as y'all know, I'm slowly getting more into the dividend portfolio. It's not purely what I'm looking at when purchasing a stock. It is just a bonus, and luckily since they pay 3.57, they're getting a little under $4 per stock you own. Pretty sure they pay that quarterly like most stocks do. But again, that right there just puts a little bit of money in my pocket that I can then reinvest later. And if you reinvest your dividends into other stocks, it will grow so much faster. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Based on Robinhood's analysts, a little over half say buy, 38% say hold, and only 4% say sell. This is one of the small things I try to use if there's at least 20 analyst ratings or above. and as long as the buy and hold is above about 75%, usually good. Prefer to buy them more as possible, because these are people that look at stocks all the time and check patterns in the stocks, so on and so forth. It's a small indicator. I don't always go by it. It's just a little something. And then I was looking at their earnings. The past 2 quarters, they've been doing great. The third, if you go 3 back, I think they just hit the mark. And then if you go 4 back, they just went under. But technically, right, pretty much in line. Looks really good, especially the past 2 quarters. We'll see next month on the 19th how they do based on the quarterly earnings. But this is definitely one stock that I plan on purchasing, mostly because of the type of people that go to Target. A lot of these stuff you can buy a little bit cheaper if you go to Walmart. But when you go to Target, you get a better feeling, better vibe. There's something about it that people love about going to Target and don't mind spending a little extra just to go there. Plus, I think a lot of the items that they have they're more quality or just nice. So that really is the first one, and now we're going to look at the second stock. Okay, so here we go. We're taking a look at the second stock. It is Digital Realty Trust. It is a REIT. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's REIT. Basically, it's a real estate investment trust. The best way and the easiest way for me to pretty much explain that is like you are investing in a real estate company for them to purchase properties or something along that line, and then based on how much they get paid, a lot of these REITs will actually repay you in dividends on top of hopefully growing as well. But a lot of them pay dividends, and there's some that even pay, instead of quarterly, will pay you monthly, which is pretty crazy. But I'm trying to look at more of these REITs to invest in, because I just think it's kind of an awesome way. I want to get into real estate, not now, but later on. But it's kind of one of those ways that I can kind of still be in it without actually doing it, if that makes any sense. They're more in the digital aspect, which I'm more about technology. I love technology. I've always learned about it. Just it's one of these big things, especially Apple, and I own a lot of products. Always know what's new, cameras, computers, doesn't matter, into it. So I like what they're doing. One, there are a few concerns. This is more of a risky investment, so be very cautious if you are looking at buying something like this. Definitely do your research, look at their books, how they're making money, so on and so forth. And to be honest with you, I still need to do more before I purchase this actual stock. I just know that I was looking over, doing some research on some of these REIT stocks, and I just wanted to, again, invest in them. I've followed one like O and Apple, or it's like APLE. I always get that Apple, and then the other Apple confused, like the technology company. But there's another one that's like, I think it's APLE or APPLE. Sad that I forgot. Anyway, I'm following those, but I always wanted to add one. I just like what they're doing. I think they're big into here, kind of dealing with technology sectors like buildings for like cloud storage, stuff like that. You gotta need to do a little bit more research. One of the concerning and red flags is a PE ratio being 122. That is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that means that they, based on how much that the price based on their earnings is just not great. So I think that they are overvalued at this point at $132. But if you looked at, let's just go through the line here. In 1 month, 3.37%, 3 months, 12.88%, 1 year, 18.85%, and here's the doozy, 5 years, 111%. All right, there's over 20% per year, again, which is a lot of stocks I've been looking at. The question is really what's going to happen during like the next recession or next bear market, of how this could potentially go. I just know that based on their growth, it's great. This is one before I do purchase, I'm going to put a lot of research into it, and I always recommend to do that with any type of stock. But this one, again, with it being a little bit less known, having a high PE ratio, and kind of me not knowing that much, I do plan on digging a lot more. And if I do purchase this, I will make a whole video on the reasons why I purchased this and give you more examples of the reasons why I felt safe buying it. But we'll leave that for another video. Now we'll look at the third stock that I'm looking at purchasing this month in October. So this third one here is going to be Disney. Everyone's pretty sure has heard of Disney. The reason why that I'm really excited about Disney is mostly because of their streaming platform. I do invest in Netflix. Netflix has taken a pretty decent hit, not too bad, with all these other people entering the marketplace as far as streaming services. And Disney is a huge competitor that is going to be of great concern for Netflix, but also potentially a great opportunity for anyone that invests in Disney. Disney makes money a lot based on them owning all the rights to like the characters, but like Marvel, the theme parks. I mean, there's a lot of avenues of revenue there, and they've been, I think, killing it this year, and that kind of just reflected in their overall stock price right here. Again, they've gone up 11.47%. nothing huge, but that's still a great increase for the year. And again, we're just going to go through the month. The month is down 4%, 3 months is down 7%, 1 year 11%, and then 5 years up 52.34. So averaging about the 10% each year. Again, a little bit over that. There's that huge increase right there. And again, I think that's when they just pretty much announced their whole service of Disney Plus. And I think maybe they're even their earnings at that time. But just this seems to be one of those long-term safe investments. They're remaking a lot of their old classic movies that a lot of us have watched when we were younger and are more excited to watch again, remade. So this, to me, just seems like a money-making machine that I would like to be a part of. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this. They do pay dividends. It's not much, you're looking at about a little bit less than $2 per stock. But this is just one, again, always bonus if they pay dividends for me, but it's not the only reason why I purchased them. But this is just one that seems like a safe, but kind of a potentially long-term investment that will not only pay me in dividends, but also have steady growth. And that right there is going to be those 3 stocks that I am currently looking at. That's my portfolio. I'll just keep you guys updated on what I do plan on purchasing. I might even buy something else, but those are the 3 ones that I really have my eye on, and do a little bit more research on every single one of those and kind of come up with an answer. Stop that right there. An answer as far as which one I'm going to purchase. And if I do, I will actually try to make the video from the beginning to the end process of me not only going to the stock, explaining why I'm purchasing this stock, and then at the very end, buy this stock and add it to my portfolio. You can see the whole transition from start to end there, kind of go through the thought process of what I'm thinking when buying the stock, kind of going from there. Because I like this video, please give it a thumbs up if you got any value from it or want to see any more videos. I post the ones about my top stocks I'm looking at per month, my updates on my portfolio and how much I am gaining or losing, as well as other things such as I'm going to start talking a little more about how to choose a stock over others, so on and so forth. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.